for a test today, but it won't be happening today. It would be happening on the coming Thursday. So Thursday you'll be having a test on entire SQL things that we have discussed so far. Okay, so today I'm going to discuss on few more things, uh, like the small parts about the database. They are about the creation of tables and the updation of data inside the tables and insertion of data into the tables. So this is what I'm going to discuss on, or I'm going to discuss, and once that is done, I'll be giving you the highlights about data warehousing on our time availability. All right, the next part of the things. Okay. Now, so far, what we have done, we were playing on a tables that were actually existing in the database itself. All right. So we are playing on the tables that are actually existing in the database. So now there can be a chance, or there definitely will be a chance for us to create the tables. Okay. So what do I mean by that? For now, you are executing the tables as it is. So let's start from EMP. So what is EMP? How is this EMP created? We were not known till now. Okay, so today the main process or the main thing would be on discussing the things all about how to create these particular tables. How did we get this particular data within these particular tables? All right, so these are all the things that we are going to talk about today. Okay, all right, fine. Now, all right, so to create the tables, we have to follow a particular syntax, and the syntax is create table. Then you have to specify table name. All right, open braces. Now what you have to specify? You have to specify the column names. So column name 1, and what kind of a data this particular column would carry. You have to specify that. If it is a number, a numerical data, you have to specify a number, and there you can even limit the size of the data that it can carry. So if I say 4, then that means it can hold the data of numerical in nature, and that too the maximum allowable size is 4. When I say maximum allowable size is 4, then that means the highest data that you can enter in that particular column is 4 nines. All right, you cannot enter one beyond that. Okay, or you can specify number of some comma 2, 7 comma 2. This is what we have seen, right? So what do I mean by that? The total length of that particular column can be 7, of which 2 can be decimals. I mean, this is the scale and this is the precision. So how it is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.67. This is how it is. And the maximum value that it can carry would be 9999.99. This would be the maximum value that it can carry. All right, five digits before decimal and 2 digits after decimal. Okay, or if that particular column is of string type data, if it carries string type nature of data or string nature data, right? So what are we going to do? We are going to right, so we have to specify the string type data over there. Right, we have to specify the string type. So what is that? The string type data type is varchar2 of, again you have to give the size. When I say 20, then that means it can hold the maximum size of 20. Or else, if that is of a date data type, it carries a date value within that, then you have to specify it as date. Okay, so this is how you are going to create. Likewise, the same thing. A column 2, name 2, sorry, and associated data. Alright, likewise column 3 and associated data type. Likewise, every column that you create, each and every column needs to have its data type, its name, and followed by its data type. It's data type, not date. Okay, data type, and so on. It goes on. Okay, till you figure out all the columns, then end it, give a semicolon, and execute that particular statement. Okay, so this is how you would be doing it. Okay, clear? All right. Fine. Any questions? So let's create a, oh sorry, there is some fluctuation here, so don't mind it. All right. All right, so let's create a table. Okay, create a table named sessions, right? ETL sessions, let's say the name as ETL sessions with below columns. The columns are ETL session ID. It is in numerical in nature. Okay, numerical nature, which should hold max of 5 values. Right. Then you need to have another column called as instructor. Right. It is a varchar column or string type column whose maximum value will be 25. Right. Start date, date type, data type, end date, date type, data type. It is date. So this is our requirement. Come on. What would be our query? Our query would be, I have to create a table. So create table. What is the table name? ETL sessions, bracket open. What is the first column that we need to have? ETL session ID. What it is said? It is said to be as number of 5, comma. Right. The next column name is instructor. Right. It is of varchar type of data. The maximum value is 25. String type is varchar. Right. Likewise, you have start date. Now, we have studied at the time of column aliasing, columns cannot have spaces. So, start date, it is a date data type. End date, right? End date, date data type. I'm just executing this. Right, table sessions created. Now you have to figure out a point out of this particular thing. What is that particular point? I have created a table, and you see this, within this particular query there is one outcome, one point that needs to be noted out. What is that particular point? The point is, no, table created, that is true. The point is, you see that I have given a space in column name, end date. If I query out this particular table, select star from ETL sessions, you would see that start date has got start underscore date, but end date you don't have any underscore. So how did I create a space? How did I create a space column? So when you wanted to create a column with spaces, so what you would do, or what you should do, you should give that particular table name in single quotes. When you give the table name in single quotes, sorry, column name in single quotes, you would be able to create that particular column with spaces. Is that okay? Right. Now I just created a table. I don't have any data within this particular table. Now I have to see that my table is having data. So what I have to do? I have to load some data into it. So how will I load? The loading will happen with insert statement. Right, insert is the statement with which you are going to include the values within that particular table. So what is the syntax of insert statement? Insert into, right, you're inserting something into a table, so give your table name. Now what are you going to include within that particular table? You're going to include values, so insert into table name values, comma, not comma, bracket open or braces open. Now the way your table is created, you have to pass the values in the same order. Now the first column is ETL session ID. It should be of numerical in nature, so 1 2 3 4 5. Then the next is instructor. Okay, Durga Satish Kulukuluri. Alright, now then start date. Alright, so let's say system date minus 30. What will I get when I say system days minus 30 or 45? What will I get? What will I get when a date minus a number? What would I get? Date minus number and date plus date. Date plus a number. What would I get? Alright. So when I say no, you'll get a date. When I execute it, when I execute this particular statement, this, see, okay, I did not give the table name, right? So the table name is ETL sessions. Right, so I'm just executing it. Column not allowed. Hurrah, what is that? Which is that column? 22. Total line numbers 2275. Yeah, thank you. See, I see one row inserted. Now let's execute the command statement. Select star from ETL sessions. You would see that a session ID of 1 2 3 4 5 got created. You would see that the instructor name is reflecting over there. Start date 12th of June. What happened? I went 45 days beyond or back to this particular current date. This date minus 45. It has taken me to 12th June. When would be our sessions going to end? It is going to end on 8th of August. Okay, so this is how. If I want to include another record, so what would I do? I have to write another insert statement. Insert into ETL sessions values. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Alright. Pradeep. Alright, Pradeep is the instructor. Okay, he is going to start the next batch. Let's say sysdate plus 15. This would be our start date. Okay, sysdate plus 75. These are ended. Now if I execute it, I would see another record inserted. Now when I execute this particular statement, I see the values reflecting. So this is how the data is going to get loaded into your table. This is how the data is going to get loaded into your table. Okay, clear guys? Any questions? Any questions so far? All right, just give me a minute. JSYBM. All right. Sorry guys, there is some disturbance here within this. Okay, cool. Now I got the data loaded and data installed. Right, I have everything. Right, I have all the things in my system. Like I got the table created, I got the data, I got the data inserted. But in some cases, we may have the situation of updating the data. Right, I may say that, okay, I thought end date will be as 8th of August, but I know that my content that I wanted to deliver is completed. Alright, is completed 2 days prior to that. So what I need to update my end date. I need to make changes to my end date. End date should be as sysdate plus 10. Right, I have to ensure that, okay, I have to ensure that my end date is 06th of August 15. Alright, so what am I supposed to do now? I have to make use of update statement. Right, I have to make use of an update statement. So how is the syntax? Update. So what am I going to update? I'm going to update the table. So update table name. Alright, now set. Set is the operator that you are supposed to use. Alright, give the column name. What is the column that you wanted to update? What is the column that you wanted to update? Okay, so column underscore name 1. Column underscore name 1 is equal to the changing value, the value you wanted to update with. Alright, now if I leave this particular command as it is, so what happens? This updation will happen across entire table. But if I have to update a particular record, then what will I do? I will use a where clause. Where a particular column, right, a unique identifier of that particular column. A unique identifier of that particular column. Right. So column name is equal to the unique value. For example, I'm using the same thing here. So update. What is the table that I wanted to update with? Sessions set. What is the column that I want to update? I have to specify end date because my column has got spaces is equal to what is the value that I wanted to update with? I wanted to update with, I have to make sure that it is 2 days less than the current end date. So what will I say? End underscore date minus 2. Now where ETL session ID is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if I execute this command, this particular statement will get updated. Table of sessions, sorry. Alright, you see one row got updated. You see, one row got updated. Now if I execute this particular statement, see, earlier it was 8th of August. Now you see it is as 6th of August. It is as 6th of August. Right? You got the things updated. Now you write me a statement. You write a statement for me. The statement is update or make changes to the instructor name of ETL sessions table apply this change to Pradeep instructor. Okay. It should be, the instructor name should be as Pradeep. Now write the query for this, please. Write the corresponding query for this. Come on, I need the query for this. Hey. Update ETL session set instructor is equal. Make corrections to your query. There are some syntactical errors. If I execute that part of the query, I'll not get the things corrected. Do that. Don't give me that. Give me the complete query. Yes. Right. Sorry. Update ETL sessions set instructor is equal to Pradeep, where instructor is equal to Pradeep. Right, execute this particular statement, you would see one row got updated. Now execute the statement again, you would see Pradeep, Pradeep, instead of Pradip. Right? Clear, guys? Right, so how are we going to create a table? We are going to create a table using a create statement, and in order to have the records inserted into that, we are going to make use of an insert statement. With the help of our insert statement, we are going to make the data inserted into that particular table, and with the help of our update command, we are going to make changes to that particular data within that particular table. Now you see this. Alright, now every ETL session will be having a unique ID, right? Like let's say it would be same like your mobile number. If you have a particular number within this particular country, only you will be having that. No other person can use the same number. Likewise, if I say a particular session or a particular class, a class will be represented by its own ID, or a student will be represented by his own roll number, or the unique number, unique student ID that is being generated, or an employee will be identified by a unique number. Now here you see this. If I insert a value into this particular table, the table that I have created, right, insert into ETL sessions, right, values. Now if I try to insert another record for the same for the same ID, session ID, I would see the data getting inserted into it. Sysdate plus 15, sysdate plus 85. If I execute this part of the query, I would see that there is a same value that is being reflected to the same session. Alright, a different session. Each and every session needs to be identified by a unique ID, but here I see the same value being assigned to each session. So this is somewhere, this is an incorrect one, because the primary rule of database says that to say a particular database is in normalized form, the rule for database says is that data within the tables should not be redundant. Right, data has to be unique. This is what the prime rule of an RDBMS, relational database management system. Now here my table that I have constructed is not handling this. So in order to handle this, then what we need the following keys to be configured. So what are those keys? Primary key. So what is a primary key here? A primary key is a column, or a primary key is assigned to a column to maintain data uniquely. Right, you will have the data maintained uniquely. It will not allow null values. It will not allow null values. Now here I have to have this particular ETL, this particular table, right? I have to have this particular table assigned with that particular primary key. So how am I going to assign that particular primary key? I am going to assign the primary key by altering the table. Right. Right, I have to alter the table so that I can add a primary key to that particular column. So how will I make use of alter key? So the command for alter key is alter, okay, table. Now table name, give your table name. Now what is this? This is a constraint. Okay, whatever the things, we are adding certain constraints to it. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to add that particular constraint over there. Okay, and give a particular name to that particular constraint. Okay, alter table, give a table name. All right, add a constraint to that particular table. Once you add a constraint particular table, you have to give your constraint name, a naming convention. Okay, a naming convention to uniquely identify that particular constraint name. Now then give the constraint. What is the constraint that you wanted to give? Sorry? Hello?
Screen.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Some problem there's my system. I have to restart it. Okay, anyways. So you're able to see it now, right? You're able to see now? Okay. Sorry, yes. I have to restart my system, but I could not. Anyways, let's see later on. Okay. Add table, table name, add constraint, give the constraint name. Okay. Now I have to specify primary key onto which column that I have to give this particular key on. Alright, give the column name on which I have to set this primary key. Okay, now let's make use of this. Alter table. So what is the table name for us? ETL sessions. Add constraint. So I'll give the constraint name as ETL session ID underscore PK. So this is nothing but my constraint name that is being assigned to that particular sessions. Okay, primary key. On which column I have to set it? I am setting the primary key column on session ID. Now when I execute this part of the query, right, so what happened here? Yes, it tried to create a primary key, but what it has sent? It has attempted to create a primary key, but what it has found? It has found that there is a duplicate data. Why it is set as duplicate data? Check it out here. Now, within the select star from ETL sessions, I am trying to set ETL session ID as a primary key. When I'm trying to set this particular column as a primary key, it has to be without duplicates. So what you have understood about a primary key? A primary key will not allow duplicates. Now, I got a requirement to delete this particular record, one of this particular record. I want to delete this particular data. So what am I supposed to do? I am supposed to use a delete command. Okay, delete, the syntax for delete is delete from the table name. Delete from table name. Alright, where if I have to delete only few records or a particular record, then I have to filter it. Where give your filtering condition. So column name is equal to a value of your choice. Choice in the sense where you wanted to delete. Now here, I will not be deleting the data based on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I delete the data based on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what will happen? If I write a command in this way, delete from ETL sessions, where ETL session ID is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I execute this particular command, what will happen? What is going to happen? What do you say? Even this record will get deleted, and this record will get deleted. I don't want this record, these two records getting deleted. I want only this record to be deleted. Because how this particular query will work, it will try to fetch for the ETL session ID within this particular table called 12345. If it figures out 12345, then it will delete these particular two records. It has found this, it will delete this. It has found this, even it will delete this, making a particular single column within that particular table. So I'll not go with this particular column, but I'll go with instructor column. Instructor is equal to Durga Satish Kolukuluri. Now this Durga Satish Kolukuluri is different from this Durga Satish Kolukuluri, right? So I'll go with this. Okay, and one row deleted, right? Now I'm trying to alter this. Okay, table say ETL sessions altered. Now I want to know the table data. See here, ETL sessions. Now I see I have only two records here. Now if I try to insert another record saying that insert into ETL session values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this part of the query, I should be seeing an error called as unique constraint violated. Sorry. Right? Did I get that? Unique constraint violated. Right? So I will not be able to enter duplicate values. Now if I leave the column as null, if I say null data, where null is something which is not defined. Now see, cannot insert null into that. So what it means, a primary key is a column in which you will be able to maintain data uniquely. To have a data maintained uniquely, you should be having a primary key set on a table level. Is that okay? Clear? Right? Now, the same primary key column will be seen as, right, if at all I have two tables, like earlier we worked on EMP table and also department table. Right, we worked on two tables, EMP table and department table. Now within these two tables, what is the column that is common? In department table, I have department number as column, common column, which is present, which is the same column that I see in EMP table. So department number is a column which is common in between both the tables. Now in which table it is a primary key? Check your answer before you answer. In which column department number will stand as a primary key? Is it standing as a primary key in case of your EMP table? Is that correct? Right. Why it is not correct? Why it is not correct? What is the reason for not correct? Come on. What is the reason behind it? Because I am not asking why department number is not a primary key. You said department number is a primary key in EMP first. Primary key doesn't mean that the column has to be in the very first place. It is not the rule. Now, again, why department number is not a primary key here? What is the reason? What is a primary key first? Because it is not unique. Perfect. Column is null. I don't see department number, column is null. But it has got duplicate data. So 10 is repeated for thrice, 20 is repeated for 5 times, 30 is repeated for 6 times. The reason is data is duplicate, and that is the reason why your department number column is not a primary key. But you see the same column, start from department. Alright, you see that 10, 20, 30 and 40. Now I am trying to insert the data into it. Insert into department values. So if I am trying to insert another department with the same ID called as department 40, right, QA, right, it's in Herndon. If I try to execute, it would throw an error to me, right? Unique constraint violated. So that means in case of your department table, department number is a primary key. Now here department number is a column which is not holding any duplicate data in case of your department table, but the same column is holding duplicate data in case of your EMP. But what is that particular column in case of your EMP table called? In case of your EMP table, it is called as foreign key. Right, it is called as your foreign key. A column is standing as a primary key in a particular table can be seen as foreign key in another table. When you have a primary key and a foreign key relationship set on tables, then you will be able to retrieve the data from both the tables by making this particular primary key joined to a foreign key of another table. Is that clear? Is that clear, guys? Right? Okay. Fine. Right. You have another column called or another constraint called as unique key. So what is unique? Unique key is a column which maintains the data uniquely. Okay, it will not be holding the duplicate data. It may contain nulls. Now the difference between a primary key and a unique key. What is a primary key? Primary key is unique data plus no nulls in it. Right? What is a unique key? Unique key will hold the data uniquely, alright, plus it may have null values. This is an important question. Okay, and there can be a question again, how many null values can a unique key hold? In case of Oracle, there is no limit on null values. Oracle is a database. But in case of SQL Server, you will have only one null value. You can have only one null value. Okay, as some points to be noted. That's it. Okay, so what is a foreign key? What is a foreign key? A primary key of one table will stand as or refer as foreign key of another table. What you're going to have with this primary and a foreign key? You are going to have or establish a referential integrity. So what do I mean by referential integrity? I can refer the data from one table to another table with the help of this primary and foreign key relationships. These are all the constraints in a table. Alright, likewise you can have some constraints like check constraints. Though this is not important, I'm just saying you, giving a heads up. So what we can do with the help of check constraints, I'm just giving you some idea about this. With the help of check constraints, as and when you are creating a particular table, you may have a constraint, a limitation put on that particular column. The limitations are whether a column can accept null values or not. This is one kind of constraint. Okay, let's say I'm trying to create a table, create table testing underscore ETL. Alright, so ETL ID, I'm saying it as number of 2. Alright, instructor. Alright, varchar 2 of 20. Now earlier I have altered the table to create a primary key. Now what am I trying to say? I am trying to say it as a primary key here directly. I can even say in this manner. Right, instructor varchar 2 of 20. I am saying this as not null. So what do I mean by this? This column will not hold any null values within it. Okay, instructor technology, right, varchar 2 of 20. It can be a nullable column. So when I leave that particular column as it is without specifying as not null, then that means it will be, or it can be holding null values within it. It can accept null values within it. Okay, like let's say fee. Alright, number of 5, check fee greater than 0. Alright, start date, date. Missing left parenthesis, where am I missing? '84 command. Create table testing underscore ETL. ఎక్కడ వచ్చింది ఎర్రర్? మిస్సింగ్ లెఫ్ట్ parenthesis. Okay, did I miss somewhere? Oh, again session is getting closed. Just give me a minute. I'll restart it again. It's blinking. Wait again. Hey, ఇవాళ సెషన్ ఇది ఎందుకు ఇది ఇలా అవుతుంది? ఇది ఊరికే డిస్కనెక్ట్ అవుతుంది. యా, అది వైఫై ఎందుకు? Missing left parenthesis. Okay, let's try. Okay, super. Okay, the constraint, keep the constraint check within a braces. This is what I have missed. I have created a table. Okay, I have now a new table created. Now let's say I'm trying to insert data into it. What am I going to achieve with the check constraints and everything? So insert into testing underscore ETL values. Alright, the first value 01. Okay, instructor Durga. Okay, technology Informatica. Right, now fee, I'm saying it as 0. Okay, I'm saying it as 0. Then start date as sys date. Yeah, let's see. Right, now I'm executing this part of the query. What it says? Check constraint violated. Right, the values being inserted do not satisfy the named check. Okay, this is a constraint that it got violated. Alright, now if I say 1000, I would see the record inserted. Now for the same thing, I'm trying to execute with 01. 01 is as my primary key. Okay, I'm trying to execute with some other value as 5000. Now when I execute this, it would say unique constraint violated, because this cannot be 1. So I'm just changing it to Satish. Alright, Cognos. Now when I execute, I would see the row inserted. Now let's say there is another person, but I haven't defined him. Okay, he is on MicroStrategy. Right, now I'm executing this. Now when I execute this, it would say another error. Why cannot insert null into instr, INSTR? Okay, because this particular column is defined as not null, so I should not be having any null value here. So Durga Satish. Now when I give the value over there, alright, I would see the data getting inserted. Now as you asked, can we insert a negative data? Okay, let's say minus 15. What happened? Again violated. Check constraint violated. Right? Because I have set this particular constraint as fee greater than 0. It should always be a value which is greater than 0. Is minus 15 greater than 0? No. So I will not get the data inserted into it. So what is the data here? Select star from testing underscore ETL. Sorry, testing spelling wrong. It will throw an error. See, I got the data loaded. Correct? Okay, fine. So far we have created some set of data. Okay, I'm trying to save this database. So what are we trying to do? Create, right? Create tables. Let's say I'm trying to save this particular page as create tables. I'm closing this. I'm ending this particular session. See, I see two actions coming here. Okay, one is commit changes, one is rollback changes, one is abort connection disconnect. Okay, now I'm saying it as rollback. See what happens. I'm saying rollback and clicked on OK. Okay, I'll try to open it again. Okay. So far, what has happened? What are the tables that we have created so far? We have created two tables, ETL sessions and testing underscore ETL. Okay. Select star from ETL sessions. You have the data. Right. Select star from testing underscore ETL. Do I have the data? Do I have the data for this one? The last transactions that I have done, the inserting data. Did I delete anything before I do anything? I did not. But what I have done, I have selected an option called as rollback. So what do I mean by rollback? Now, create statement is an auto commit statement. You have to understand what do you mean by commit, what do you mean by rollback here. So when I say commit, I am saying that the changes should be permanent. The changes should be permanent. When I make some changes to a particular table and when I say commit, it means that whatever the actions that I'm taking place or whatever the actions that I'm performing on that particular table, they should be of permanent one. Okay. Fine. Right. But if I say it as a rollback, then that means I will not make them as permanent changes. They are of temporary. So whatever the actions that you have performed prior to the commit or after commit and prior to the closing of this session, they would be erased. Okay, so this is what a rollback means. At the time of I closing the session, I selected rollback. So what happened? Prior to the committing of statements, everything was good. After that, there are no other statements because I have not issued a commit to that particular thing. Okay, commit and rollback. Is that clear? So how can we issue a commit statement? You can write a small command like commit. After your transaction, write a statement as commit or write a statement as rollback. Okay, commit makes changes permanently, rollback makes a temporary changes. It will not make the records permanent. Clear, guys? Any questions so far? All right, perfect. Okay, so then I'll take this particular table. Select star from ETL sessions. Okay, I have two records. Now earlier we have seen a particular statement called as delete. What did delete do? What did delete do? Now delete from ETL sessions. Right. Can I execute this command? Can I execute this particular command? Come on, guys. Can I execute this command? If yes, what will happen to this? What will this command do? Okay, that is what. If yes, what will this command do? It will delete all rows. Perfect. Okay, now I'm executing this. What happened? ETL sessions. Okay, 2 rows deleted. Perfect. Now see, execute this particular statement. Select start from ETL sessions. What happened? The data within that particular table got deleted. All the rows got deleted. Right? Because I have not given any filtering conditions. I have asked to delete all the data from that particular table. Now I am issuing a rollback command. Rollback complete. Now I got the records back. So what do you mean by delete? Delete is not an auto commit statement. Record once deleted can be brought back if not committed. If I commit and then issue rollback, I'll not get them back. Okay, but you have another statement called as truncate. Truncate table, give your table name, ETL sessions. Now I see the 2 records here. Now I'm executing this particular command. Table ETL sessions truncated. Now I'm trying to roll back. Rollback complete. Did I get the data? I did not get the data. So what is the difference between a delete and a truncate command? Truncate works on the table as a whole. Right. You are not supposed to give any filtering conditions there within the truncate table. Right, truncate command. Whereas within the delete, you can set filter conditions. Alright. When the data is deleted using a delete command, you will be able to retrieve it back by using the rollback command unless it is committed. Whereas when you are going with a truncate command, truncate is an auto commit statement, you will not get the data back. Okay, clear guys? Okay, so both delete and truncate, they will delete the data. They will not make any differences or any changes to the table. Table will be as it is. Oh, something is going wrong, man. Okay, table will be as it is. Nothing is going to happen to the table. You'll see the table structure as it is. In order to see the structure of the table, we have a command called as describe, DESC. Describe, give that particular table name. Alright, this is a script kind of execution. You will see a script getting executed. See this script output. Now what happened? Whatever the columns that you have specified in case of your ETL, you would see them. ETL sessions, you would see them. So DESC is the command which is used for describing that particular table, knowing more about that particular table. Okay? Clear guys? Fine? Alright. Then I have one more important statement called as drop. Alright, when I used truncate and delete, I got only the data inside that particular table. Now I am saying drop ETL sessions. Now when I execute this part of the command, drop table, drop table ETL sessions. Now when I execute this particular command, I would see a statement saying the table's ETL sessions dropped. Now see this schema browser, you would see ETL sessions here. Okay. Now as I refresh, I will not be having that. Now if I say select star from ETL sessions, I would see an error stating that table or view does not exist. Now here, if I issue a rollback, rollback complete. Now even then the same message. So what drop is, and drop is a auto commit statement. Once a table is dropped, you will not get the table back. Likewise, drop table testing underscore ETL. Now you see that particular testing underscore ETL within this tree. Now as soon as I execute this particular session or this particular query, and if at all I refresh here, I would not see that. Even if I issue a rollback command, I will not get the table back. Once a table is dropped, it means it is dropped. Is that okay? Clear? Any questions so far? Okay. Now, I'm trying to give you some more extended concepts in case of creation of a table, because you may have to apply the same kind of concepts when you are put in work. You may have to, I'm not saying it as compulsorily, but you may have to. Okay, that's the reason why I'm giving an extended concept. Now earlier when we created a table, right, we have got only the structure of the table, right? As and when I executed this, okay, let me open it. Right, as and when I executed this particular statement, did I get the data into it? Did I get the data? Now see, I'm executing this particular thing. ETL sessions created. Now when I say select star from ETL sessions, do I have data in it? No. So to have data into this particular table, I have to use insert command. But if you have to create the same copy table, let's say I have a table called as EMP, right? We have a table called as EMP. The next table that I would like to create will be having the same nature of EMP or same structure of EMP. Same structure of EMP. So what would I say? I wanted to create a table called as employee. Okay. The table name, I wanted to create it as employee. So how would I write a query? Create table employee as, right? Now what would be a table? My employee structure is same as EMP. So what would I say? Right, select star from EMP. This is nothing but, this kind of query is nothing but creating a table by using the existing table. Now here you see, when I execute this particular statement, what happens? I would see that employee table getting created. Not only the table getting created, but also the table is having the data. And this data is the same data that I see as part of EMP. Because what happens here? How is the query execution happen here? When I say select star from EMP, what do I get? I get this entire table. Now, this entire table is created with the name called as employee. But now my requirement is create table. Alright, let's say I wanted to create a table called as employee underscore testing. This is the table that I would like to create. But this particular table is having the similar structure of employee, but I don't want data into it. I don't want data into the employee underscore testing. I just want to pick the skeleton of this particular employee. I don't want the data of it. So what would I do? I would say the command as create table. So what is the table name that I want to create it? Employee underscore testing as select star from employee. Right. Now when I say select star from employee, what am I going to get? I'm going to get the entire data. But I want to have only skeleton. I don't want the entire data from this particular table. I just need the skeleton of it. So when I don't want any data, what would I do? I would give a false condition within the filter statement saying that ename is equal to Durga Satish. Now what happens here? If I execute this particular part of the query, will I get any results? Will I get any results? If I execute only this part of the query, see, I will not get any results because I don't have an employee name called as Durga Satish. Or I would say instead of ename is equal to Durga Satish, I would say 100 is equal to 200. Is 100 is equal to 200? The answer is again no. See, again it's a false condition. Or I would say A is equal to B. So what is my motive of giving the invalid filters? Sorry, A is a string, right? A. What is my motive behind giving these false conditions? So that I will not get the data, I'll just need the skeleton of it. Now execute this part of the query. I would see table employee underscore testing created. So if I say select star from employee underscore testing, see, I got only the skeleton. Isn't it? Are you clear with so far? Is that clear, guys? Okay, these are all very, very important. You may come across all these situations when you are put at work. So, be ready. Okay, so any questions before I conclude all the database related stuff? Do you have any questions? Have we got? Because from tomorrow, what we are going to see is we are going to talk about ETL concepts. Alright, that would be our end part of our course. Okay, so tomorrow completely we'll be discussing about the concept oriented way of ETLs, and that from the next day we would be initiating our practice. Okay, but Thursday for sure you're going to have a test on these entire database. Whatever the things so far we have covered, everything would be in your question paper. You have to answer it. Okay, Thursday would be that. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow we would be talking more of the concepts, and from Monday till Wednesday we'll be talking about the testing, and then we'll conclude our sessions. This is how the plan is. So if you have any questions regarding this equals, please ask me now itself. Do you have any questions? So are you good with the entire things, the content and everything? Okay. So please give a practice. Yes, I got few of the assignments. Okay, so Shilpa. Okay, fine. The assignments. Yeah, I got few of the assignments. I will be going through them, and I will talk about these assignments tomorrow in our class. Okay, clear? Fine, then thank you so much, guys. I'm leaving early today. I'm a bit tired. Okay, so we'll catch up tomorrow. So before I conclude, any other questions for me? Very urgent, huh? Okay then. See you guys. Have a good day.